everyone. Now we are from English Literature C. We want to explain about the famous president in America Serikat, and then the first president. This is who really inspired us, including Abraham Lincoln, are that we are required to always rise from the failure. We are required to rise from the past even though it is dark. We are required to be responsible and then trustworthy when given trust to many people. And the second, Barack Obama. Barack Obama, who's the first black U.S. president because of African American descent and had spent his childhood in Indonesia, has proven that even though he is different from the majority of the U.S. citizens who is white, he is still able to working and well optimal. The third, John F. Kennedy. He was to give wise advice wherever he spoke, especially in front of the American people during his life and during his time as president. And then the next, this is George Washington, being widely recognized for revolutionary leadership. And then his experience, courage, authority, and charisma were highly respected and seized. We can now effective making him the great leader in the world. During his presidency, the first did he the whole tour of the city, New England, and then the other country.
Was the 16th President of the United States, who was born on February 12, 1809 in Kentucky, United States. There was one person who was very instrumental in Abraham's life, a person who always supported everything that Abraham did. She was Sarah, Abraham's stepmother. Sarah is a person who always supported Abraham in every process toward his success because Abraham had a bad relationship with his father. During his tenure, Abraham's success in giving freedom and defense to slaves and black people, he also stopped the civil war that was happening in the USA at that time. Abraham's action had such an impact until now. Because of him, the United States became the first president to successfully abolish slavery. Abraham Lincoln struggled to become president of the U.S. after 4 minutes in many starting his business bankrupt. His parents died, his two children died. He was even depressed for 6 months until he arrived in politics, but never stopped trying to realize his determination as slave in the U.S. It is inspiring because he was who came from a poor family. He didn't even have educational background, yet he was will walk thousands of miles just to borrow books and study. Because reading very diligently made him successful as a lawyer. He studied law self-taught with the books he read. From Abraham Lincoln, who was very inspiring, we can learn that no matter how often we experience failure, if we keep trying to get up, we can always achieve success. And success doesn't have to come from people who have reached and are all highly educated. It can be achieved by anyone who has determination and effort.
The 44th President of the United States was born to Barack Hussein Obama as RNN Handenham on August 4, 1961. He had lived in Indonesia when his mother remarried Lolo Suteiro, an Indonesian citizen. In his tenure as a president, Barack Obama succeeded in his government in dealing with the crisis. Financial reports showing growth in private sector jobs of 15.6 million in the last 81 months. Barack Obama maintains good relations with Islamic countries, where previously the country was known to have quite bad relations with countries in the Middle East. This was caused by the foreign policy of George Washington. The previous US President Bush was unfriendly to Islamic countries. When Barack Obama took office, the US was little by little able to establish good relations with the Islamic countries. Obama's action also seemed to bring good influence to the world. In addition, Barack Obama also maintains good relations with Russia, where the United States and Russia used to be enemies of each other during World War II. This is inspiring because Barack Obama, as President of the United States, replaced George Walker Bush. Obama is considered representative enough to fight for the fate of his people. Barack Obama was not born into a family of politicians like the Klan, Kennedy, Bush, or Clinton, but Obama was born into a multi-racial family with an academic background, with a distinctive leadership style that has brought the United States forward. From Barack Obama, we can also learn about an Obama also formulate meet with care across cultural approach to the world, thinking not only about US interests but also the interests of other nations as well. From Barack Obama, who is very inspiring, we can learn from an early age to grow and from a responsible attitude from an early age. And be confident if we have written, visuals, and priorities, the dreams that will make come true. But if we are not confident, that it's just talk sheet blank. If we want to take steps to make our dreams come true, then we must be confident and not be swayed by what other people say. And of course, we must understand what we will do to make that dream come true.
Now I will explain about the George Washington give me inspiring life, such as from the education, from the strategy in George's life, and then the important this is how the George Washington leader the country. Okay. We can learn a lot from George Washington. One of them is not quickly satisfied with health. George Washington didn't make a fortune to get everything, even though we know his father was a decent job. Washington is also not the same aura as other rich people's children who are usually homeschooled, but the George only attend regular school. At the age of 15, his father went bankrupt, and at that time, George Washington began taking jobs or the part-time, relying on his expertise in mathematics. Very touching, isn't it? At the time, where rich people, children would be depressed, and Washington, at a young age, forced to work. It is achieve an education, and finally when his father died, he was fully supported by his half-brother in terms of motivation or material, because George is son of the second wife, while supporting is his stepbrother. What the most astonishing was the George Washington had no children, but he only had a few stepsons, and what we can learn from the next leader is to forget all and try to achieve education. Likewise, with the way he leads, not ignoring the common people, because the small people can present the good leader to the future.
My name is Daniel Saputra Hutapea, who will take part about President John F. Kennedy. John Fitzgerald Kennedy was born May 29, 1917. Known by his initial JFK, was the 35th President of the United States and retired from January 1961 until his assassination in November 1963. Kennedy was very naughty when he was at school, especially when he was in senior high school, but even so he graduated and excelled and earned a nickname that is a student who is very likely to succeed. John, after graduating from school, went straight to Harvard and after graduating joined the United States military to defend the country in World War II. John was sworn in as a president with a very characteristic slogan: "Don't ask what the country can give you, ask what you can give to the country." John asked the world come together to fight tyranny, poverty, disease, and world war itself. John taught me personally to always be active under any circumstances, to have the courage to make decisions for myself, not to be afraid of failure, to take a risk. John also gave me an example to stick to in the future, namely being able to fight against the things that are the enemy of all us: poverty, disease, and make peace. I personally am motivated to make this happen so that I can be a successful person, so that I can fight poverty, not for myself, but so that I can help others too. We also have to fight disease. I became more aware for my health. I started exercising lightly and will become my regular activity someday. Then the last one will be guideline and maybe the approach for a religion people to live in peace, no racism, no tolerance, and most important, not badmouth one another.
From the four inspirational stories from the American president, it can be concluded that their life background before becoming president was that they were not people from really good backgrounds. Even one of them didn't have a good educational background, but they all had the same pressure and goals that is making major change to their country. One of which is to eradicate slavery injustice that occurred there, the struggles and obstacles they face in carrying out their mission to bring change to their country, and also varied and certainly not easy. But one thing we realize is that they are consistent in their goals. They never give up in order to bring good change from the future. From all their inspirational stories, one thing we can learn from is that in order to bring about a change, we have to start from ourselves to report injustice. We must have determination and courage, never give up, and stay consistent with our original goals, no matter what obstacles we face.